likes to cook? I love to cook. That's why I'm here talking to you. Tell me why you like to cook.
Because you get to eat it.
That is my favorite reason to cook. Tell me another reason why you like to cook.
It's fun!
It is. It's fun. You get to use your hands. You get to get dirty. You get to be creative, right? I use the part of my brain that's really creative. And like the recipes we're making today, I made up. So I get to be creative. I get to use my hands. It's really fun, right? I get to play with my kids. While I would much rather have my kids be with me cooking than watching TV. Just because you're a child, does that mean you can't be a chef?
No.
Absolutely not.
You can be any size to cook.
But there are some really, really important rules that go with cooking. We're going to talk about those in a second. But what I want to talk about first is, did you know that every single time you cook, you get smarter? Did you know that? Every single time you cook. Well, let's figure out how. You tell me a subject you do in school with Mrs. Kenny, and I'll tell you how we use it in cooking.
Math.
Math. Math is a really good part of cooking. So I'm going to write down some stuff. What kind of math is that? Those are fractions. Correct. So if I don't know my fractions, and I don't know the difference between a half and a quarter and 3/4, can I cook? Yes.
Science.
Science. Science is huge in cooking. If I don't have science, I can't cook. There are chemical reactions that are going on in your food all the time. And I'll give you an example. There's an ingredient that we use that we only use for science. It's called baking powder. If you tasted baking powder and you put it in your mouth, you'd say, oh, why am I adding this? It tastes terrible. Yeah, disgusting. But we're not adding it for taste. We're adding it for science. When you open a piece of bread, what do you see inside? Holes. Right. Do you know what's causing those holes?
The reaction of the baking soda.
Right, but let me tell you exactly how. That's correct. So what happens is, inside the bread, okay, when the baking powder and or the baking soda, right, comes in contact with the heat, when you put it inside the oven, there are little bubbles that start to happen inside your food. And then the bubbles start to get bigger and bigger, almost like balloons. And what's inside of a balloon?
Air.
Air, correct. And then they start banging into each other. Get out of the way, I need more room, I need more room. And they start to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. What's happening to the outside of your food when the inside of your food is getting bigger and bigger and bigger?
The outside's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Exactly. The outside is
Growing.
rising.
Expanding.
Expanding and rising. Excellent.
Reading.
Reading. If I cannot read my cookbook, can I make my recipe? No. So every time you read a cookbook, there are vocabulary words that you're going to learn. You're going to learn to become a better reader.
Art.
And I bet you thought you were going to stump me with art. How's he going to come up with something with art? Who's ever heard of this term, it looks too good to eat? Right? Excellent. Well, why do you think a chef goes to such great pains to make sure what you eat looks good?
History.
History. History. Now, how does history play into food? And the reason is because all of the ingredients we use have a history. They come from somewhere, and they will not only help you to learn the history of the food, they will actually help you to learn history of American history and even world history. Wash your hands, okay? Why do I have to wash my hands really, 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 really well before I cook or before I eat?
Do not get germs on the food.
Correct. If I get germs on the food, what can happen to the people who eat the food?
Get very sick.
Okay. Everybody pick up your knife, okay? You're holding it with the handle over here. This hand does what with the food? Yeah. It holds the food. So it holds the food, but there's a special way you need to hold the food. Everybody put their hand up and make a bear claw. You can even growl at me if you want. Those are some sad bears. All right, so you take your bear claw and then you put it down like this. What do you notice about your fingertips? Who can tell me? What do you notice about your fingertips? Yeah.
They're bent.
They're bent. What can't I do? As hard as I try, what can't I do, Julie? I can't cut myself. Right? So that's what I want to see. Who's ever seen a chef on TV cut an onion so quick he doesn't even have to look? He goes like that. He does it because he's got bear claw, his fingers are bent in, his fingertips are holding the food down. All right, we have our hot pot, all right? So we're gonna take our olive oil. Olive oil has a high smoke point. As soon as I put this in, you should see smoke coming up, okay? And we're gonna take the ingredients that you guys cut. Now, if I preheat this pot, why? Why did I preheat it? Somebody can tell me loudly. Stanley.
Because metal takes a long time to heat up, and it takes a lot of the warmness in it.
Exactly, so I want this to be hot right now. I want to hear that sizzle, okay? I want to hear that sizzle, so that tells me that it's cooking. I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning, little salt, little pepper, some other seasoning, and then I'm going to add some crushed tomatoes. Now, we talked about this already, but we'll talk about it again. I'm adding these crushed tomatoes. Why is it okay to use canned? Why did I not only use fresh? I used fresh, you guys cut the fresh. Who can tell me the difference between in season and out of season? Anybody? In season, out of season. Stanley.
When they're in season, they taste more ripe, and when they're out of season, they don't taste as good.
Well, kind of. I can get tomatoes. Can you eat a peach in California in January? You can, but you can't get it from having been grown in California. It has to be from another country because peaches only grow in warm weather. So like Costa Rica can make you a peach now, right? But it has to be shipped to us and that gets expensive. So there are other ways of getting our food other than fresh. My sauce, the vegetables, all the vegetables that you guys cut so nicely. Okay, kids, who's ready to eat? All right. Yummy.
Just thinking of growing fat.
Our senses were real.